How you doing, man? You look great,
Cheers, thanks. And yeah, not bad.
and you sound great. I love the new song.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
And I just noticed today, nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Yes, it's really, really an amazing honor. Yes, I was very, really surprised. Wow.
I'll share with you that I too was nominated as a member of the Black Crows.
Yes,
So
that's right. Yeah,
it's a good day for both.
congratulations
It's a
too.
good day for both of us. Um, when I saw your name on the list, my first thought was when I first heard about a band called Generation X. If you had said there's going to be a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one day, I said no way a punk band from England's going to be a part of that. And now look at you all these years later.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we could never have imagined things like this. I mean, we were doing it purely for the love. We thought maybe it might
Yeah,
last 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years at the most.
yeah,
It's
yep.
purely, purely for
Uh,
the love. And then it's nearly 50 years next year. So
And
pretty wild that you can live your dreams, really. That's pretty exciting.
I think that explains exactly why you're still here because that's what it was all about. And along the way, you end up having to make a business decision here or there, but nobody jumps into the game thinking about contracts and lawyers.
Yeah, no, not really. I don't think so. I think if you do, it's probably the wrong way to come at it. I think you
Yeah.
have to come at it from a bit of a pure place, because then whatever happens is incredible, you know. But if you sort of,
Hmm.
yeah, that's how we went into it anyway. It was purely for the love. We were never imagining anything would happen, really. It was, yeah, punk rock and everything. It was just to do it, really. And there was only a few other people into it, and then kaboom! Then it went mega in England, and
Hmm.
we are a million years later.
Yeah, you got about 10 years on me. So I was a kid the first time I started seeing punk. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with rock and roll. There was never a time when that was. I was born in 65, so I knew rock and roll from day one, but punk was I remember punk to me, I thought this must have been like when kids first saw the Beatles in the 60s. You know, that was like my this awakening of something new, and it's not for the older generations. I've always imagined, and maybe I'm over romanticizing it, but that scene in London at that time had to have been like just being plugged into a socket.
Yeah, it was really like that. I mean, yeah, it was really exciting because all around us, there was the other groups coming up with their music, The Clash with theirs, Sex Pistols, Buzzcocks, Susan the Banshees, whoever it was. And then we were kind of replying with ours. It was so exciting, just
Mm-hmm.
all the music that was happening, all the young people sort of coming out of the woodwork and expressing themselves and saying how they felt. And that it was magic, really. It was really good
Yeah.
fun.
The new record, Dream Into It, is this the most of all the music you've created, is this the most sort of autobiographical? Have you ever written this much music about looking back and trying to make sense of the whole journey? Or is this really the first time you've done that?
Well, no, I mean, we were making a documentary at the sort of beginning of the COVID,
Hmm.
and which kind of was on and off because of the COVID, and we only just sort of started finishing it really. But that made me sort of really sort of think about my life. I'm at a vantage point that I've never been at before. Being 69, I'm really at a vantage point where you can really see the landscape of your life, and then and then doing the documentary as well. It just was easy to bounce off that, and then start writing songs about these different sort of uh, times in your life, like say the punk rock era or me coming to America,
Hmm.
and the various things that happened along the way, and then putting the album in that order as well. That's the other thing. We sort of did it in chronological order, so it tells a story. It doesn't, the usual thing in the old days, you always sort of put like a hit single first and then the next best song second. But this
Yeah.
really does, we sort of, yeah, deliberately made, the song selection tells the story of my life, bookended by one of the bookends is Still Dancing, and which kind of tells my whole story in
Hmm.
one song as well. So it's the best way to kick off the first song from the album, I think.
It's fantastic. Steve Stevens, how many years is it now, the two of you?
Yeah, it's 40. It's over 40 something. It's 45 or something. Yeah, 81. So
That's
43 or 4.
really incredible. I think anybody that knows you and follows you knows the significance of that relationship. But with the name Billy Idol, I think there are fans who've probably missed the fact that it's been a two-headed monster for a really long time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Steve's the man behind the man. That's the whole
Yeah.
thing. I mean, yeah, because anything I want to do, he can play it. And
Hmm.
that's the other great thing about this new album. There's every Steve Stevens is there. You know what I mean? The flamenco Steve is there, the hard rocking Steve, the
Hmm.
punk rock Steve, it's all there, and that's the other exciting thing about it, is just seeing all that, seeing what we've sort of created over all this time, and then being able to sort of put it all together in one album, is really exciting.
Billy, I'm looking at a tour that starts end of April and goes all the way through September. How, how different is the regimen these days from the 80s as far as keeping you going day to day on tour?
Yeah, it was quite radically different.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the great thing is today I can hear myself. With the internet
Hmm.
technology. In the old days, I could never hear myself. So you sort of like tended to think, "Fuck it, who cares?" But
Yeah.
today I can hear myself. So ever since the sort of late '90s, I've sort of been going on stage, not messed up or anything, and taking it seriously, really, and I've been enjoying it, and that's the thing. That's the great thing. So it is very different from the '80s, and but I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think where we are, we really love what we're doing, and you want to just
Hmm.
nail it every night. You don't want to be up there blowing it. You want to be nailing it, because we can. We still can
Yeah.
nail it.
I saw a clip from last year. It was an acoustic performance, that just the two of you, and I was really struck by your vocal performance. There was more, and what I thought was, he must be so happy to not be screaming over a band right now. And it just, there was a lot more to your voice than I had heard. I've seen you live, but it's been years and years, and I just thought, man, and it's still all there. I mean, it was just really it was rewarding to watch that and hear you sound like that, and to hear Steve playing like he plays. I was actually surprised at how much it kind of I got really happy and excited about it.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, I hope that's the feeling everybody gets, really. I mean, that's the exciting thing. That's the other thing I couldn't have imagined too. You over time, your voice grows, it changes, you work it, and you're developing your instrument. That's the other thing I've sort of discovered over time,
Hmm.
is that I could go a long way with my voice after all, which I don't know. I don't know if I could really even sing when I started out. Really, I was
Yeah.
just making a squeaky noise, and then over time I developed something, and that's been fun to see that.
Yeah. Well, this is really sad. As I said, I've just heard the one song, the first single, and I think a lot of people are going to be excited about this. I mean, it's new and it's instantly familiar. Your voice, you've become that. You have one of those voices. The second anybody hears it, they know exactly what that is, and it's
That's one of the lucky things too, is
yeah,
yeah, as a singer, you want to be recognized, because recognizable. So many people there's so many great singers, but you can't recognize them. So I'm really lucky that it's pretty, yeah, instant. You can, yeah, I don't know, there's touchstone things about my voice that you can
sure.
recognize immediately. You know
So is
it.
when you were a kid, did rock and roll or punk? Did you get pulled in by the idea of, I think you just wanted to be in a band, you wanted to do it, or were there certain singers that you saw as like North Stars, like that's my guy, or that's someone I'm kind of emulating? Who were those first singers?
Well, I love people like John Lennon. I just
Yeah.
thought I loved people like him, and just all the different people that you grew up listening to, Ozzy or anybody.
Hmm.
There was always something about them that you got. You took something from everybody, and also too, you found out what you could do. And that was the other thing. You sort of listened to them, but then you found out, oh, I can apply that to me, because. But there again, I can't sing as high up as John Lennon or anybody like that. So I had to find a sort of a mid place. But then it gave
Hmm.
me a sound of my own. So that's the thing you find out, that you couldn't imagine.
Sure. When I saw the list of nominees for the Rock Hall of Fame this morning, the first and I was on the air doing a morning show and we saw it, and the first thing I saw and said was, I said Billy Idol and Joe Cocker, and I said, wait, how are they not already there? Like it just seems so crazy, that two singers like that. But Joe's another one of those guys that and like I said, you hear him, you just know exactly what that is, and it was just a shock for a second to think that you and he were not already in there. So hopefully
Wow.
both those things get straightened out this year.
Yeah,
Have you
definitely.
have you thought about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame very much? Is it something that you had in the back of your head like that'd be nice one day? I know a lot of people. I've said it in the past. Whatever, if it happens, cool. But I can't believe I can speak for my own experience today too. But when I saw the band's name, I got really excited. I was like, man, that's really great. How'd you feel?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was really knocked out, really honored. I mean, I was just there inducting Ozzy in his solo
Mm-hmm.
career, so I sort of the whole vibe was fantastic. And so the idea that I might, my motorcycle's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, my
Yeah,
motorcycle Bone Shaker's already in there.
yeah,
So if I could join as well, that'd be fantastic. But it's just kind of incredible. And
yeah.
the thing about the night is you really get a chance to say thanks to your fans who
Mm-hmm.
stuck with you through thick and thin. And so that's a big moment that you really get to thank people for like
Yeah,
really sticking by you. And because so many different people have sort of created me, really. It's not just me on my own.
of
There's
course.
so many different people that you really get a chance to thank.
Yeah, that really is. I think the one thing that that I enjoy about that show every year, like you said, you see the gratitude and you recognize. The average guy walking down the street has no idea how many people have played a part. One decision or 1,000 decisions, but they all add up to you being who you are now and having done all this. And so, I hope you get in because I'd love to watch you do that, and I'd love to hear you up there. And I think it's awesome, and especially with a new record that sounds this vibrant. I think there's no reason to think it's not going to happen, man.
That's the other great thing with you've got this really great record, and I think if the two things combining it would just be
Yeah,
what a year it would be, it'd be
yeah.
incredible.
Well, Billy, hey man, it's a real pleasure. Sorry again for being late. Had to grab the young lad. I got a
Yeah,
dog. I got a dog who takes advantage of his opportunities when he sees them.
well,
Uh,
that's us.
and it's all right. That's right. So it's awesome to see you and talk to you, man. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.